Now, I totally understand that if you're just getting into Pokemon TCG right now, you're probably slightly overwhelmed with the way things are, with how things have changed from when they were years ago, all these different types of new cards, all these different types of products. You're probably not sure what a lot of it means and therefore not sure where to start. But rest assured, do not worry. Today I'm going to go through some of the simple and basic things about the Pokemon TCG today, just to give you a simple guide on what all these different types of cards are, all these different types of products, my recommendations, and the best things for you to get started in 2025. So just to quickly run through all the different types of rarities of the cards we have nowadays. As you can see, we start things off next to me here with Mankey, everyone's Route 22 favourite, your go-to at the start of the red, blue and yellow games to low kick the life out of Brock's Geodude in Onyx. Now anyway, we're here to talk about the rarity of the card. So as you can see, not much has changed from back in the day. It's still your standard layout. You've got the top half of the card being a rectangular image of the Pokemon itself with a little bit of art there. The name at the top, its HP, its type, as well as at the very bottom, as you can see, the symbol of the rarity. Now moving up a tier, we go to uncommons, which is represented by that kite shape, as you can see at the very bottom of the card. It still adopts the same layout as the common card, it just simply has a different symbol to represent its rarity at the very bottom. Again, moving up a tier, we have the star shape, just a singular star, which represents a rare card. As you can see, again, same layout, but at the bottom, it's represented with that star to say it's a rare card. Moving on up one more tier, we have double rares, which is depicted by two black stars together, as you will see at the bottom of the card. As you can see, in principle, it's the same kind of layout as your regular commons, uncommons and rares, but they're a bit juiced up, right? As you can see, the colors pop a bit more. The image of the Pokemon in that rectangle is a little bit more juiced up, right? As you can see, there's a bit more about it. And the main difference, as you will see at the top, the Pokemon now becomes an EX version. Moving on up one more tier, we move to ultra rares, which as you can see is depicted by two silver stars together. Now these are often referred to by the community as full art cards, as your two options for this rarity are full art Pokemon and full art trainers. Now as you can see, it's more or less what I would call a portrait. They're quite basic cards, to be fair, which is why they're not hugely desirable and can usually be found quite cheap. As you can see, it's normally a Pokemon or a trainer, very simple background, normally one or two colors, and just a simple portrait of the Pokemon or the trainer. Simple cards. Now we start to move on to the juicier cards, and as you can see next to me with this Skarmory, we're looking at illustration rares, which is depicted via a single gold star. Now these for quite a while in Scarlet and Violet have been extremely cheap. You could get some of them for only a couple dollars or a couple pounds, but now they're really starting to get some love with this crazy market we're in and are starting to rise quite a lot in value. But in general, as you can see, it's normally the Pokemon in its element, right? You see Skarmory there, and it's got an image where it's sitting on top of like a camper van. Or there's other examples of Pokemon where they're swimming underwater or flying in the sky. Usually it will be the Pokemon in question, but in its element, in some kind of larger picture, right? And they're very beautiful cards. Moving up to the penultimate card from your main series cards, we have the Special Illustration Rare, or often commonly referred to by the community as SIRs to give it a shorter term, right? Now, as you can see, they're EX version of the cards, right? They're basically EX versions of the illustration rares. These are your chase cards of the set. These are the ones that go for a lot of money. As we can see from the Pikachu and the Milotic next to me, they're usually very similar to illustration rares. They're Pokemon in their element, but because they're a lot harder to pull, the pull rates for these cards are a lot harder than the illustration rares. They usually go for a lot more money, and they're usually very beautiful cards as well. Now we move on to the last card from the main cards you can pull from a set, which is the Hyper Rare, which is 3 gold stars in a triangular formation, as you can see. Now these could be anything from Pokemon to tools to items to stadium cards, and they're always gold, right? And they're normally very beautiful cards, but they don't usually tend to be a chase card of a set. As I said, people tend to go for those SIRs, those special illustration rares that we just looked at. These are actually technically harder pulls than the SIRs, but simply don't have as much value, don't always look as nice as the SIRs, therefore there's not as much kind of attraction from the community for these cards, but in general still very beautiful cards and still have a decent level of desirability. Finally, move on to a bit of a different card, which is the Black Star promo. Then this has been around for a long time, even from back in the olden days. but these can differ quite a lot in how they look. As you can see next to me, I've got two examples. I have the Alakazam EX from the Scarlet and Violet 151 set, which adopts the usual kind of vintage layout of a card, with the top half having a rectangular image of the Pokemon, and just the general layout of a basic card. Or you have, for example, next to me, the Kingdra EX, which looks like a special illustration rare card, but again is just a Black Star promo, which can also be obtained just like the Alakazam in some kind of collection box. Just quickly before we move on, guys, you guys are absolute legends. You continue to show a fantastic level of support on my videos, and I'm massively grateful for that support. So again, if you are enjoying the videos and you like a new TCG video every other day, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and also leave a like on the video if you are enjoying it. Now that we've looked at the different types of Pokemon cards, let's have a look at the different types of products in which you can obtain these cards. Now, if you're around back in the late 90s and 2000s, as you all know, you went to your local shop and it was booster box and packs, and that was it, right? Now, things have changed quite a lot. You can get a plethora of different products, and depending on your situation, both financially and your interest in the hobby, you might be looking at different types of products, because there's things such as ultra premium collections and booster boxes that are over £100 or $100, and that may not appeal to you, and you might be looking at something more like an elite trainer box or a tin or a special collection box, which are lower in price, around that $30, $40, $50 or pound mark. Now, the type of products available is heavily dependent on the type of set being released. For example, a booster box is not always available. For example, with specialty sets such as Prismatic Evolutions, which is our most recent release, there's no booster box available, but you do still have ETBs. Then you also have mini tins available, which you don't normally, and it's quite confusing, right? So we'll stick to basics and we'll go with your most common products available. Now, starting off at the very top, and every mainline set has this product available, and that's your booster box, which is quite simply 36 packs of that specific set, and this retails for 143 GBP or 161 US dollars. Then we move down a tier and we have your elite trainer boxes. Now, elite trainer boxes come in two variants. As you can see next to me, I've given an example of a regular ETB and a Pokemon Center exclusive ETB. Now, elite trainer boxes retail for 55 GBP or 60 US dollars, and your main differences are the fact that the elite trainer box from the Pokemon Center has a very, very limited run. They usually become available on the Pokemon Center website a matter of a few weeks before the release of that set, and normally go pretty quick. And once they're gone, you don't often see them restocked. So there's a very, very limited run. Secondly, the Pokemon Center exclusive ETB will contain a card with a Pokemon Center stamp on that card. And I'll put examples next to me so you can see the difference. Also, the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box will include 2 extra packs than the non-Pokemon Center ETB. Your non-exclusive, your regular ETB, will contain 9 packs, and your Pokemon Center exclusive will contain 11 packs. It is also important to note that in the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusive ETB, you will receive 2 promo cards, one without a stamp and one with the stamp. Now we've looked at some of your more expensive products available from the sets. Let's look at what I recommend if you're just getting into the hobby, and if you're also looking at products to buy just to open a few packs and you're on quite a strict budget, as of course prices right now are very crazy. So right next to me here, I have the 3-pack blister. Now this is quite a common product nowadays, and it's simply, it does what it says on the tin, right? It's 3 packs from a specific set, and it will also include a promo card of a Pokemon from that set. As you can see from the example next to me, you have one of the kind of all-time best 3-pack blisters, I would say, in your Evolving Skies 3-pack blister, which contains a promo card of the Umbreon. Now, of course, this is just an example from the past, but to give a more recent example, and one that's actually still available on the Pokemon Center website here in the UK, is the Brilliant Stars 3-pack blister. Now, Brilliant Stars being a fantastic set, it's a great pack, it's a great set to open, and also contains a Brilliant Evolution promo card. Another very cheaper alternative, if you're simply looking for packs and nothing more, is your booster bundle. Your booster bundle is a small box containing 6 packs from that specific set. Therefore, as I touched on previously, the 3-pack blister, or here with your booster bundle, these are very decent and simple entry-level products for those of you that just want to open a few packs and nothing more, and not spend an absolute bucket load of money trying to obtain Pokemon products. Now that would be my advice for those of you that are simply looking for the fun of opening a few packs and enjoy the hobby for what it is, just like you did when you were a kid, as you'd open a pack or two every week. But if you're looking at chasing a specific card, I would look going down a different route. As we touched on at the beginning in the different rarities of the cards, it's quite probable that one of your chase cards is one of those top tier cards, an ultra rare or a special illustration rare, etc, etc, and those cards can be notoriously extremely difficult to pull from a pack, which is why if you are in this boat, my recommendation would be just to buy that single card online. Buy it from the secondary market, look on eBay, look on Facebook Marketplace, look at trying to acquire that card on its own instead of just opening packs and packs and packs and risking whether or not you're going to obtain the card you want. Now my last bit of advice, and although it may seem extremely basic and simple and obvious, is don't give in to those prices from scalpers on the secondary market. As you can see in front of me, I have the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box exclusive from Prismatic Evolutions. Now as we can see, as I said before, it retails for £55 or $60 US. Now, as we can see on eBay, it's going for about 4 times that price. So guys, please be sensible when looking to obtain products, regardless of what your motives are for wanting to buy the product, whether you're looking to collect, invest, whatever. Just don't be silly. Don't pay stupid prices and be patient with your purchases. Now, the final thing I want to touch on is how to properly store your cards and how to properly protect them. Because as we know, as we were kids, we'd put them in our pocket, we'd put them in our backpacks, and we wouldn't really care about the condition of the card. We just wanted to have that card and we didn't know how to properly protect them. But things are different now. Cards are worth a lot more. I think we appreciate the value of Pokemon cards and what they mean. Therefore, it's important to know how to properly protect them. Now, the first level of protection you're going to provide to your Pokemon cards are called penny sleeves. As you can see next to me, this is a screenshot I've taken from Amazon. These are called Ultra Pro. I'm not affiliated in any way at all. These are just the first ones that came up. But as you can see, extremely cheap, £2, around $3 for a pack of 100, and that will keep you going for a very long time and will provide a great first level of protection to your Pokemon cards. Now, the second level of protection and your final level that is imperative to provide to every Pokemon card you have, especially your better pulls, is called a top loader. Now, as you can see from the screenshot next to me from Amazon, you can get a pack of 25 of these for around £4, around $5. Now, yes, they're more expensive than penny sleeves as they provide a much better layer of protection. That's because if you've never held one of these before or you've never seen one, they're a lot thicker plastic. They can't be bent in your hand. They can't be crushed like a penny sleeve can. A top loader is a very thick piece of plastic that provides a very, very good level of protection to your card. Now, it's important to note you should not be putting a card directly into one of these as it can scratch it. You need to penny sleeve your card first and then put that penny sleeved card inside of a top loader. Now, I'd also recommend keeping all of your cards inside of a binder, and it's okay if you want to put just the card inside a penny sleeve and then that penny sleeve inside a binder. That's okay, that's a decent level of protection. But if you want to go one step further, you can get binders that are specifically made to have the room to insert a top loaded card into every plastic sleeve. This will provide you with the best level of protection for every single card that you have. So for those of you that have watched, I do really hope it has been of some benefit to you and you now feel a bit more confident when exploring your options in the Pokemon TCG today. So guys, that does conclude things for today. A massive thank you for those of you that are still here. And if you have enjoyed it, please smash that like button. And as always, if you are new, please feel free to hit that subscribe button above me. I really do greatly appreciate it. Guys, if you're not caught up on my 10 and under series, you can watch a couple of them videos right there. If not, as always, thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been Pokecharla, and I'll catch you in the next one.